Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today I wanted to give you a bit of a message of hope, to be honest. So, 9 months, 10 months ago, I had just done a silent meditation retreat. I thought this was going to be the cure, the kind of final thing that would tip me over from sort of 70, 80% into full blown recovery. I had got a lot of benefit from meditation. I had really found that it settled my nervous system. It helped me to focus, to reduce tiredness. And I thought that doing this silent meditation retreat, stupidly, I know, would be the thing that would help me get back to that kind of 100% mark. And I went on this meditation retreat, and for 8 days, I wasn't speaking to anyone. I couldn't look at anyone. I I couldn't read, couldn't do anything to distract yourself. And I was just purely in my head, purely in my thoughts. And I started ruminating. I started just having the weirdest kind of symptoms that you can imagine. I would be having these kind of pains through the back of my neck and my head, going deep into my spine. I would be thinking I'm almost hearing things. The worst possible thing that I genuinely can ever imagine. I would be desperate to have my kind of old symptoms from long COVID back. And following this, I left early. I came back, and I ended up in hospital for a week or so. I was so convinced there was something physiologically wrong in my brain. Because I would literally be having almost fits. I would be lying on the floor, like vibrating, crying, and I would have this pain going down my spine, deep from my brainstem. I'd be having this vibration behind my eyes, oscillating, this jolts going down my chest. The malaise was like it was at the very beginning of long COVID, and it just was the worst possible thing I've ever experienced. And I was I was like, there has to be something wrong. I had a lumbar puncture, I had MRI scans, CT scans, I had epileptic fit tests where they shine the lights in your eyes. I had every single thing that was going, and they were just like, I don't know what is wrong. And I was so dismayed and distressed. I remember them saying they would test me for encephalitis, and I remember like encephalitis is a very serious condition that I think it's like 40% fatality rate, and I was like, please be that, because at least that makes sense. It's like, okay, it's horrendous and you need serious treatment, but it makes sense and it's logical and there's like an explanation. And none of that came back, and it was all clear. And I was just at a loss. I didn't know what to go. I'd be constantly kind of having I couldn't stand up because I'd be having this vibration. My head would be feeling weird. I would be having it just all sorts of bizarre symptoms, but tingling. My hands and fingers would just go cold. And I cannot express to you. I thought my long COVID symptoms were bad at the very beginning, and they were bad. And I would literally do anything to get those back. And it was just truly, truly horrendous. And so in many ways, it just stripped me. I had nothing. It was nothing else to do. I was like, well, what can I do? And during that retreat, I had also had a weird experience where I'd been experiencing all these symptoms, rumination, OCD loops. And for about 10 hours following an episode where I just broke down in tears and started crying, I felt totally normal. And I don't mean just like normal, like I mean like pre-long COVID normal. Like everything was clear. I felt happy. I lay down in bed for the first time in years. And I remember this was at the retreat, lying down in the bed. And I remember for the first time since pre-long COVID, lying down, and my body just melted into the mattress. You know that feeling when you, at the end of a long day, you're tired, you've done a lot, and that lovely feeling of just relaxing into the mattress, feeling like you melt into it. That feeling that I have not had in years, because you'll all be very familiar with that. Everything is slightly just a little bit of a wired sensation when you have long COVID. It's just, everything's a little bit on edge. You never fully relax. And so that blew my mind and bizarre. And I thought, what on earth is going on? And yet the symptoms came back following that, but still that period really opened my eyes a little bit. So for the last 8, 9, 10 months, I kind of was just like, well, what else is there to do? I tried plenty of things. What else is there to do but to treat this as though it is a kind of uncompleted survival mechanism and some kind of trapped energy that is just causing all of these bizarre symptoms. And I don't think I would have ever fully believed that, given my background, given like how I like to think about things, if I didn't have that visceral first person experience. But I treated it as though it was exactly that. And I did EMDR, I did somatic work. I focused on just allowing whatever came up to come up, and this would be sitting in this depersonalization, this weird sensations that were coming about, and this pain in my chest, and just allowing it to be there. And I would even have periods where I generally notice like it felt like something swirling around in my chest, and I would just sit with it, and I would do the EMDR, I would do the somatic work, I would do all of these things. And little by little, I noticed these weird kind of very physical releases. So following an EMDR session, I was like vibrating. Literally, I was doing the stimulation. So there's this light that you watch going back and forth. I was noticing it, and my whole body was tensing and then releasing. And following that, I noticed a just profound sense of calm. It didn't last for ages, but it lasted. And this is not what you would see with a degenerative condition. This is not what you would see with something that isn't rooted in some kind of nervous system relation. And little by little, sticking with this kind of path, I have gone from where I generally was lying down all of the day, and I thought my life was over. I was in despair at all the things that I'd lost and wouldn't be able to do in my life, like having kids and all of this, to the position now where I am abroad, I'm traveling, I'm back training again, I'm enjoying recording things for you guys, and I have just a profoundly different sense of why I've had all these kind of like blockers in how I deal with things my whole life, and I just have a kind of awakened understanding of what has been going on. And that isn't to say I still don't have difficult days. I do. I have some fog when I overdo it. I still have these echoes of doubt that creep in, of like, oh, but like if that happened, that could happen again. But it's just remarkable, the difference. And I just wanted to share that as a message of hope, because I know the instance of like, oh, my case is different, like mine is different, like mine is so bad. I know that feeling, and I cannot express to you just the level of despair and just constant suffering that I was in at that period, that made all of my other long COVID stuff before, I would have died to have that back. And I've gone from that to where I am now, and I am just beautifully attuned with my life. I love what I do, and I know there'll still be difficult days ahead, but yeah, it's just so good. It's just wonderful. So yeah, I just wanted to share that as a little message of hope, because I know there's a lot of people who feel very lost, very much in despair, and I wanted to share that things do improve, things can improve, and my kind of the route that I had taken to improve that, because I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't have believed that was the route forward, or could have been a route forward, had I not experienced what I had. So, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon.